So the Cubs are without Shōta, Imanaga, and Justin Steele. They're in first place. They're playing good baseball. They're scoring a lot of runs, and the pitching's been pretty solid. But what do they do in this spot? I think there's only one answer in my mind, and it's time for Cade Horton. I'm going to tell you why right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Get in the comments section. Tell me why or disagree, whatever. Let's go, and let's get this thing started. Thanks, everybody. Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball Channel. Thank you for being here and joining me on a daily basis as we talk Cubs baseball at Broadcaster Mick on the socials. And I hope everyone is doing well. Better than the Cubs injury situation. Now Justin Steele gone for the year. Now Shōta Imanaga with a strained left hamstring on the IL. 15 days. Hopefully it won't be longer than that. He was injured in Milwaukee on Sunday covering first base, and another gem. So you say, how do you replace him? And I think that's a fair question, because now you're without the two best pitchers that you had in the rotation at the beginning of the season, right? And Shōta Imanaga was your only all-star last year, and he's been pitching excellent again this year. He's also one of those players that I think kind of like energy-wise is like the face of the franchise, at least in some aspects. So we don't know how long he's going to be gone, but we do know that there are some options. And I thought Jed Hoyer did about as good of a job as possible in building starting pitching depth, unless you've got Dodger money. And one of those guys that he signed was on the White Sox last year, Chris Flexen, on the big league roster as a long reliever. He is a starter, and he may start some. 3-15, 4.95 ERA on that terrible White Sox team last year. But in his career, he's been, I think he's been better than that. At least, I mean, when you kind of look at things, he gives you a chance. 30-49 in his career, 4.92 ERA. So maybe that's pretty much his career average, right? But at least the 3-15, though. He won 14 games with the Mariners in 2021 and had a 3.61 ERA. Maybe that's the Chris Flexen that we're going to get, at least hopefully, right? But I don't think he's the guy. I think it's this guy right here, Cade Horton. Both Cubs manager Craig Counsell and team president Jed Hoyer both said that he's an option, and they talked about Horton being an option. I watched a press conference with Jed talking about Horton as an option to replace Imanaga. In Iowa, he's 1-2 with a 1.24 ERA, 6 starts. You look at him on Fangraphs, and you love his changeup. Absolutely love his slider. Fastball is better than I think they graded at a 45. I think he's got a much better fastball because he pitches mean. Like, he comes inside on you, never lets you get comfortable. And, and not besides the record, the 2-1 record and the 1.24 ERA, over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, 4 walks per 9. And he's a dude, when you look at him and you're going, man, this guy's pretty good. He's going to go right at hitters. I think the only thing that I worry about maybe is just him being aggressive early in the count, not falling behind. But this is a former first-round pick. This is a guy who was drafted out of Oklahoma, quarterback on the football team, pitcher on the baseball team. He, in my opinion, is the best pitching prospect the Cubs have had since Pryor and Wood days. And that's not taking anything away from, guys like Chris Archer, Kyle Hendricks, who really was, I don't want to say he was ever really a prospect, but he came up through the system. You've had other guys that have been prospects that haven't panned out.
But this guy just to me, he just has it. And I think that it's not just with his ability to spin a slider, and he's really able to manipulate the slider. He can throw it anywhere. But it's that he pitches inside, that he commands the inside of the plate. He's got a little chip on his shoulder. And I hope that continues when he gets to the major leagues, because when he gets comfortable, a little bit of that Roger Clemens stuff, don't get comfortable, because I might put one right up under your chin. If I'm the Cubs, I want to get this guy there and figure out what we have, right? So he's on the same pitching rotation as Shōta Imanaga right now, scheduled to pitch on Saturday. Imanaga was going to pitch on Saturday in New York against the Mets. It was going to be it's a nationally televised game. Would they put Horton in that spot? Craig Counsell was asked about kind of a soft landing spot. He's like, hey, big league lineup, big league games, you're going to face tough lineups every night, So it didn't sound like he was really buying into, hey, let's wait until we play the Marlins. Let's put them against the Pirates, make it a little easier. But I think that's honestly not a bad idea. How would you like to face Juan Soto and Pete Alonso in your big league debut? You want to get some confidence there. But if you're comparing him with Chris Flexen, what's the upside that you're getting from Chris Flexen? That his best year, 2021 with the Mariners in that big ballpark, he had a 3.61 ERA, 14-6 record. Did make 31 starts. What's the upside that you're getting from Cade Horton? The guy's got superstar potential. He's got top of the rotation stuff. And look, you never know how it's going to translate. Remember last year, he probably would have been in this rotation had he not gotten hurt and not pitch a whole lot. And he got hurt at Oklahoma and had to have Tommy John surgery. So, injuries have been something that he's dealt with. A lot of pitchers deal with that as well. But the upside to me is I've just imagined him as the right-hander in between Steele and Imanaga. Now you don't have Steele or Imanaga for right now, but you have Cade Horton. And you got Chris Flexen or Cade Horton. I'm going Cade Horton. I'm going to give him the opportunity to go out there and see how his stuff works. I think it gives you, as the Cubs, a chance to kind of evaluate some of that at the major league level. And I promise you the slider's going to play. He's got a good curveball too. Sometimes his command can be a little iffy. And even though the fastball, it's, 94, 95, 96, the fact that he doesn't fear going inside, to me, makes him tough. Because then you got to watch out for the breaking balls, which are so good. And, and him trying to work a changeup in, which has gotten a lot better. He's got the off-speed stuff, the 4 pitches, that I think he can do some damage. But I think it's time. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to do this. I think they're going to do it. I don't know when. Is it this Saturday against the Mets? Maybe you're watching this right now and they say yes. I don't know. But I can guarantee you that it's coming. And when it does come, we're going to get an opportunity to see what could potentially be the future of the Cubs pitching staff. And I hope that it translates to the big leagues, because I think it will. And I think it's going to be fun to watch this guy. Anyway, we'll find out. And hopefully Shōta Imanaga is not gone long as well, because the Cubs certainly need him, as they move on. Now, Cubs will take on the San Francisco Giants. And that will be, if you guys are watching this early, a 1:20 game. Ben Brown coming off of a great outing where he got a ton of run support up against Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray, and he's off to a good start to the season. He's one of the baseball's best pitchers when he's good. 4-0 record, a 3.05 ERA for Ray, the former Diamondback. And then for the Cubs, Ben Brown 3-2 with a 4.88 ERA. Cubs need Ben Brown to continue to take care of business because it's really, really important that this starting rotation locks it down while Imanaga and Steele are out. Steele's not coming back this year. Guys, thanks for hanging. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thanks for being here on the Cubs Baseball channel. I'm Mick Gillespie. We'll do it again tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have some good news on Imanaga. We're keeping an eye on that as he gets kind of starts to go through the process of getting better.